So, someone you know just came out as non binary. Whether it's your child, sibling, client, patient, student, friend, or grandchild, you may feel confused. This may even be the first time you've ever heard the term. Maybe you've heard it around here or there, but never really had the chance to ever research more about it. Well, essentially, your loved one doesn't identify as the gender they were assigned at birth, nor as the opposite sex, as someone who is transgender would. Because no, a non-binary person is not the same as a transgender person. This can look different for every single non-binary person. Just as you may experience your own femininity or masculinity in your own unique way, so does a person who is non-binary experience their gender and express it in their own way. Okay, but I still haven't exactly defined what non-binary even is. In order to best understand it, we need to define a couple things: gender dysphoria and the gender spectrum. If you've never heard of these terms, that's okay. Gender dysphoria is characterized by psychological distress that results from incongruence between one's sex assigned at birth and one's gender identity. Some people may experience this as early as childhood, while others may only start to experience it during or after puberty. There are many different ways and degrees of gender dysphoria that your loved one might be experiencing. For some, it's as minor as feeling more comfortable in the other gender's clothing, or feeling more comfortable being called by a different name, while some may seek out surgeries to make their body feel more like their own. Whenever you and your loved one feel more comfortable, there may be a few questions that they would appreciate you asking. For example, you can ask them, what pronouns do you prefer to go by? Do you have a name that you'd prefer that I call you? Are there certain nicknames or terms that you'd prefer I stay away from, such as sweetheart or bud? This may be a good way to start a conversation about how this person experiences their gender. They will appreciate it, even if it's hard for you to understand. Gender dysphoria is hard to understand when you don't experience it yourself, and that's okay, just as long as you're trying to accommodate the best that you can. If this person simply answers your question with, I don't know, or they're not comfortable enough answering your question, try to understand that this whole non-binary thing is probably just as new for them as it is for you, or that they're at least trying to figure it out. It's a lifelong journey. It's also important to note that gender and sex are not synonymous with one another. Whether or not you agree or believe this to be true, it's more than likely that your loved one does. So at least in order to understand where they're coming from, let's go over it. Biological sex is linked to physical traits such as one's genitalia, their chromosomes, hormones, and so forth. Gender is more linked to a person's identity, how they relate to themselves, and their social environment. The best way that I try to explain gender dysphoria to someone who is cisgender is like this. Imagine you're male and you're getting dressed to go to a party. You come downstairs in a suit, and your father goes, no, you can't wear that suit. You have to wear a dress. You may feel annoyed, confused, or uncomfortable. This is because you don't feel comfortable expressing yourself this way. You don't want people to perceive you as a girl. You don't want people to treat you as one, because you're not. I know there are other social factors involved, but what I'm getting at is that feeling of discomfort or anxiety about feeling forced into something that just doesn't feel like it reflects you or who you are. And gender spectrum. For many decades now in our Western society, we have seen gender as two different things, male and female, binary. However, throughout different cultures and history, gender hasn't always been a two-category system. For all intensive purposes, today we're just going to say that the gender spectrum looks like this. An average cisgender person may fall here or over here. If you'd like, you can even stop the video and ask your loved one where they feel like they fall on this gender spectrum. Someone who doesn't feel comfortable staying in their cisgender box, or even feeling comfortable coming over to the other box and transitioning like someone who is trans, may float somewhere between these two boxes. If they lean towards the opposite box and feel more comfortable, they may feel as though they're non-binary, hence outside of the binary, two boxes. And for some people, they may feel their position in the spectrum is fluid, or they may feel they belong outside of the spectrum altogether, or that they're in both boxes at the same time, and so on. For now, it's important to understand that non-binary just is an umbrella term to encompass everybody who doesn't feel like they're either just a boy or just a girl. At the end of the day, it's important to have a discussion with this non-binary person in your life when you and they feel comfortable. It may feel a little strange at first, and that's okay. You may never feel that you fully understand, and that is also okay. This person is still the same person that they were before they came out to you. They are still the person that you love and care about. Just watching this video shows that you care because you're trying to better understand it. Even if you just say, I don't understand, but I want to learn more because I care about you, cherish you, respect you, accept you, love you. This can mean everything to that person, no matter your role in that person's life. They wanted you to see them even clearer for who they truly are. That means they care about you too. And this mutual respect and care is truly what matters at the end of the day. Please feel free to leave any questions that you may have down below. I will be in the comments answering questions if needed. Thank you for watching, and please take care.